I would like to call this meeting of the Festus City Council to order. Roll call, please.
Councilman Boyer,
Here.
Councilman Collier,
Here.
Councilman Vins is absent. Councilman Cook,
Here.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Here.
Councilman Weiner,
Here.
Councilman Tenen,
Here.
Councilman Dennis.
Here.
We do have a quorum. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Tonight's bills total $1,453,174.34.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Tenen,
Yes.
Councilman Dennis,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Motion passes. Remarks of visitors.
We have none, sir.
Tonight under bids, we have the Red Barn renovations, Phase 1. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. As I mentioned during the work session, on May 31st, the city received 4 bids for the first phase of renovations of the Red Barn. The low bidder was Hankins Construction. As you can see there at $434,000, which was considerably lower than the next 2 bidders. We did review the schedule of values from all of the 3 low bids. Bond has worked with Hankins on 2 good-sized projects in the Pattonville School District and also the center, which is a community center, the center of Clayton, in the city of Clayton. I've had good experiences working with Hankins, and that is the recommendation, is to proceed with Hankins Construction.
Any discussion?
I know you said the bid discrepancy and you checked all, I mean, I know you said you checked everything and our bond architects work with them, so we're good, right?
They have, really, what came out of the discussion on the schedule of values is that there's a number of things that Hankins Construction is able to do in-house. The sprinkler installation, some of the other work that is being performed where perhaps the other bidders are using subs. Hankins is able to do the work their own. So that's where they were able to really come in with a good price.
Is there any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid of $434,000 from Hankins Construction for Red Barn renovations, Phase 1.
So moved.
Motion's been made
Second.
and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Tenen,
Yeah.
Councilman Dennis,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Motion carries. The other bid we have tonight is for the Public Works Department for Edgewood Phase 1 change order. Staff report, please.
So this is for the section of Mid Meadow that will be going in front of the school. After discussions with the design engineer and staff, the best timing for the section of work along Mid Meadow Lane would be during the summer break. And we are landing right in that period of time, and we've hit a good section where they could switch off from the current project to take care of it during the break. We checked the prices against their original bid. They are all very similar. There were some additional pricing in mobilization. They're already mobilized, but they will have to remobilize a pavement cutter to come back out. The total cost being not to exceed $235,017 was agreeable to Burns McDonald's engineers as well as staff.
Mike or Greg, is this change amendment, help me out, I'm drawing a blank. Is this coming out of the sewer water fund or is this coming out of the sewer plant cell? I knew it, but I forgot.
This is water reserve. Well, council approved the amendment of the budget to proceed with the Edgewood project in total. So this will be another amendment to increase that total amount.
Any other discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the change order to Edgewood Phase 1 for the cost of $235,017.
$17.
$17, sorry.
So moved. Second.
Decimal point.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Tenen.
Yep.
Councilman Dennis,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Motion carries. We can have that change. The next bid we have tonight's from the Water Department for North Fifth Street water line replacement.
So this is coming from the water foreman. Our internal crews are doing installation. Their next planned section of installation will be on North Fifth Street. This is the cost of parts from Core and Main, the low bidder. It is $20,306.09.
Any discussion?
How many feet are we going to be replacing on that?
I haven't measured it out. I know we're going from the North Mill up and around. I would estimate about, well, probably 1,800 feet. But that's in addition to what they've done on North Second, North Third.
20 grand for 1,800 square feet or 1,800 foot of water main is not too bad.
Mm-mm. Is there any other discussion? Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid for North Fifth Street water line replacement at $20,306.09.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Tenen.
Yep.
Councilman Dennis,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Motion carries. Tonight on ordinances, we have bill number 4779 on the agenda. Would the clerk please read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 4779, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a contract with Red Barn Renovations Phase 1 with Hankins Construction, incorporating said agreement as a part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date.
Bill 4779 is now open for discussion. We've had a staff report already. Is there any councilman that would like this bill carried forward to the next meeting? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read Bill 4779 for the second time, title only.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you please read Bill 4779 for the second time?
Bill number 4779, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a contract with Red Barn Renovations Phase 1 with Hankins Construction, incorporating said agreement as a part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date. Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Tenen,
Yes.
Councilman Dennis.
Yes.
Bill 4779 has passed. Also on the agenda tonight, we have Bill 4780. Would the clerk please read this bill for the first time?
Bill number 4780, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a contract for federal project number STP-2600616 with Hennigan and Associates PC for the Festus School Sidewalk Project, incorporating said agreement as a part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date.
Bill 4780 is now up for discussion. And
Kind of had a staff.
we kind of had a staff report, but can we have a little more?
Certainly. As you may recall, Hennigan and Associates was the firm that we originally partnered with for the application for this grant, which we did receive. We did go through an RFQ process. Hennigan, one of the ones that responded. We're the ones that then reviewed and determined Hennigan was the most qualified to proceed as our design engineer, which will get us all the way up to the point of MoDOT approval of project plans and specifications.
Bill 4780 is now up for discussion. Is there any discussion?
I'm personally happy to see that sidewalk being extended out from the schools to that new Birchwood subdivision out there. That's going to open up a lot of that. It's going to make it a lot safer conditions for all the kids out there. I think it's great. Yeah, good
Yes.
job.
Is there any other discussion? Is there any councilman who would like to have this bill carried over, put on the agenda for the next council meeting? Hearing none, do I have a motion to suspend the rules and read Bill 4780 for the second time in title only?
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you please read Bill 4780 for the second time?
Bill number 4780, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute a contract for federal project number STP-2600616 with Hennigan and Associates PC for the Festus School Sidewalk Project, incorporating said agreement as a part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date. Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Tenen,
Yes.
Councilman Dennis,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
Bill 4780 has passed. And also on the agenda for this evening is Bill number 4781. Would the clerk please read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 4781, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, amending the zoning map of said city as established by the planning and zoning ordinances of the City of Festus, Missouri, and establishing an effective date.
Bill 4781 is now open for discussion. We have had a staff report on this bill. Are there any other discussion or questions? If not, is there any councilman who would like to have this bill carried over to the next meeting? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read Bill 4781 for the second time in title only. So moved. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you please read Bill 4781 for the second time?
Bill number 4781, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, amending the zoning map of said city as established by the planning and zoning ordinances of the City of Festus, Missouri, and establishing an effective date. Councilman Tinnen,
Yes.
Councilman Dennis,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Weiner.
Yes.
Bill 4781 has passed. Moving right along, new business. Tonight for new business, we have appointments of boards and commissions. I believe that you all have a sheet. Or it's in the,
Could be in the packet.
it's in the packet. Is there any questions or any discussion about these appointments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the appointments as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Committees are approved. Also under new business, we have a picnic license requested for the Twin City Area Chamber of Commerce for Twin City Days on September 7th, 2024. Do we have any presentation to make?
No.
I think this is pretty much a given, yes. So if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the picnic license for the Twin City Area Chamber of Commerce for Twin City Days on September 7th.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. That is approved. Do we have any old business?
No, sir.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to say, I'm gonna probably be there Friday morning to, see this dedication, but I can't think of two people, Jim Berger and his wife, it would be more honored to have that. They put in a lot of work, on pickleball, the tournaments and everything else. And, it seems like it's been a growing sport all over the country, especially here. So I think it's a good thing for this appreciation. So I just thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilman Weiner.
I just ditto Councilman Boyer's remarks. And I think one thing that Councilman Cook said earlier, that we might want to look into is an urban planner. Just kind of get a feeler and see what the possibilities are with that, and if that's something that the city could perhaps need or use. That's all I have, sir.
All right, thank you, Councilman Dennis.
Listening to everything that we talked about tonight, it's pretty obvious that we got it going on right now in the city. Especially with our advancements in our water and our streets. And I think Michael's done a really good job coming on board. It didn't take him long to get this going and get it moving. And all of our departments are out there getting it. The weather's been hot, but I see them all over town. They're always working. So I think that's something to be said for that, Michael. I think you're doing a good job getting everything going, and everybody give them an attaboy. Got one thing for you, Doug. Kind of disturbing today. I witnessed at the corner of Central and Horine a white tandem dump truck, unmarked, cut the thing short. Just about got the front of my car, which I was happy it didn't. I proceeded over to 6th Street, and here he come across the ridge tracks and blew the stop sign. So I don't know if we got construction going on up there. It was a white tandem dump truck. There was no markings on it, but kind of disturbing how fast they were going and the total disregard for the rules. I know you guys have done a really good job on Central and Horine of being over there patrolling and keeping things under control. But I hope this is an ongoing thing. We got some construction. Whoever's this dump truck belongs to, it needs to slow it down before they hurt somebody. So, but just something I want to bring your attention. I don't know what we got work going up the street, who's building, who's what. So, but that's something I did witness. So, but other than that, everybody's doing a good job. I hope everybody's staying cool. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Cook.
Thank you, sir. Chief Broomball, I read your report and I have to ask, what is a good intent call? You had 6 of them on the May report.
It's just one that don't fit. Anything else. People think they have a true emergency, but it's not. I wouldn't ask that.
169 calls. Our crew is staying quite busy. Puts us over 2,000 calls for the year. So thank you. It sounds like it. And Michael and Greg and Josh, the heats, I mean, you guys do an amazing job for our employees, but are we going to start? Is there potential starting earlier, bringing the crews in earlier?
I know Park Crew started last week.
We also started last week.
Okay.
Are we adding in like extra possible heat breaks, anything of that nature by chance? Are we just supervisors watching employees? Because
We keep an eye on them and we make sure there's plenty of water and Gatorade. We make sure the coolers are filled every morning, so we take care of them.
cool. Thank you, sir. That's what it's going to be, a hot one. And then Greg, I know we're adding addendums and making changes. Are we still coming along in the water replacement program? Is Burns McDonald wrapping that up? Are we close?
Well, as we talked about, you're talking about the master plan? Yeah, it took a bit of a pause while we were doing design work for Edgewood, phases 1 and 2, with essentially us getting ready to have our DNR permit for phase 2 in hand and be able to put that out for bid or talk about a change order with CE, depending on how we like to approach that. They'll be able to focus back on the water master plan at that. Like I said, we paused that so that we could really focus on Edgewood.
And then Chief Wendell, not to bring up a very sore subject, but on the vendors for, we have the one vendor that possibly still has the toll lot situation is with the county. That's still on your radar, right? I just want to make sure.
As last I recall, as far as the council was concerned, we were going to remain with the tow list. We currently have Pippins and McCain's on that tow list. Minor was talked to and they're still expressing an interest to come on board once they get all of their lot permit stuff taken care of, but they will not until that point in time.
I know that's still ongoing. And hey, Brian, question for you. I got an unusual one. I think this, as we grow, this might be more of a common problem. Got a subdivision. It's newer Birchwood. They have their restrictions and covenants, but they have ones that kind of seem like go against city policy. Like they have no overnight parking on their roads. That's a public road though, so we won't get involved in that, right, Greg? How does that work? It's in Jim's eye.
Homeowners associations have broad and, uh, Brian, what are the words I'm looking for? They can, yeah.
It's, the homeowners, they're essentially like a contract. So they can regulate, the, restrictions on their residents. We don't get involved in that, and those aren't, the city shouldn't be enforcing subdivision regulations or subdivisions restrictions or anything like that. There probably are instances in which they go much further than our city ordinances do. I'd have to look at the specific requirement and this, to see if it conflicts with a specific city ordinance. I'd be skeptical that it would be a situation where it would be invalid or something like that, where the restriction and the subdivision regulations would be invalid, but I'd have to review that.
Okay, but I got calls on both, so
Sure.
city won't get involved, but the HOA can be more restricted, which makes sense to me. So,
Sure.
okay.
Yeah.
So-
There's a
Go ahead.
process that these homeowners association can go through to enforce their regulations if they need to do it, but that won't involve us.
And then Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, if if the residents want to limit parking on one side, they have to go to our website, fill out our traffic. Correct?
Yeah, correct. If anything related to any type of traffic regulation, whether it's speed, whether it's speed restrictions, devices like speed tables and things of that sort, or a stop sign, there is a process that they can follow on our website. The traffic calming that council enacted back in 2019 is still in effect. That does require review by the Public Works Director in concert with Public Safety, Building and Planning. So it's a very thoughtful process. So if residents have any questions at all, our website provides a real good overview of how the program works.
And then the last two things is, thanks to all the board members who serve, because I know they serve for free and I greatly appreciate it. And to this weekend's Firecracker Festival, I want to thank all of our employees. I know a lot of work's going into this and it's going to be hot. The cleanup's going to be tough as well. Please be safe. And I can't tell you how much I greatly appreciate what the employees are doing this weekend for us and every day, but this weekend's going to be tough. I know it's going to be hot and it's going to be, I bet, a very large crowd. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Councilman Collier.
Okay, pickleball courts. I went by the other night. They were all full. Lights were on, looked really good. I know we had some people concerned about the side entrances. Is there anybody heard anything about those?
Fixed.
Fixed? Okay. What was the problem?
We put two of them in.
Okay. Well, last I heard, they were worried that it was going to interfere with the games going on
Correct.
at the time, but
Now
when I went by and looked, it looked like there was a big walkway between the courts to where it wouldn't interfere with nothing.
last week, in fact, last Wednesday, McConnell came back on site. We were able to get, the problem we had is the light poles. In order to get the proper, what's the word that Aiden used? Photo something. It was a fancy word. Anyway, to get the proper light spread on the courts, the poles were centered on the north-south side, and it prevented putting the gate structures there. So they moved those over. But there was not accommodation for an accommodation for being able to just have people walk in and out. So we were able to put an opening on both the north and south side. So folks are able to move around the court, I think, to Mr. Berger's satisfaction.
Oh, that's good. Okay, the house demo we got, I don't know if that equipment is from people doing the street or what, but is there any news on as far as asbestos inspections or anything?
The equipment is, we're allowing Chuck Kimes to stage,
Okay.
since it is a city lot now. We have coordinated with John Schnur, who's with Exterior Creations. He's also coordinated with Chief Broombaugh to allow the fire department, prior to the demolition, to use the structure for some practice. So I think we talked
Good
with
idea.
John last week. John is going to make sure that the abatement takes place prior to letting the firefighters run amok inside. So we're working on the abatement now. Once the structure is deemed safe, the fire department will probably make it unsafe. poke some holes in it. And then John will be able to come in and complete the demolition.
That's a good idea. Be good training.
And we won't slow his process down. He's gonna tell us when he needs to start. And then we just take advantage of as much time as we can.
Well, my main concern was the asbestos removal. That's the big deal.
We're supposed to turn that in this week for the asbestos thing.
Okay. I did attend a couple of the Juneteenth celebrations that they had, and it was really nice. Really a good event. And matter of fact, on the meet and greet, they were kind of surprised that I was there. I guess they didn't expect anybody from the city or whatever to be there, but it was really a real good event. And I'm glad that they were able to have it. This next one, I keep forgetting about it, but I'm going to bring it up now. And I was going to talk to Josh beforehand. Forgive me. Basketball court at Joker's Park. I don't know if you've got any calls on that or not. At Joker's Park, there was a basketball court.
Way before the pickleball court was.
Right. And I've had a lady that said her and her grandkids usually played at it, and she was wondering if we were going to put anything in up the hill from the pickleball courts or not.
The discussion we've had related to basketball, obviously we have the full court at Sunset. And we'll be making some improvements for half court at South Adams. Yeah.
My understanding is the gold structure that be removable. So once we figure that out.
Well, if we could just maybe look into something there at Joker's Park up on the hill.
So hard over there to try to find something that ball's either gonna roll out on the road or down in the valley.
Right.
Along South Mill there, so, but it's definitely something we could look at.
Let's take a look at it and see what we can come up with so I can take something back to her. Appreciate it. Thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman Templeton. I'm sorry.
Just a couple of things. One was that Barb did a great job leading the chamber meeting, and her sister was great. Sounds like we need to build some bike trails if we want to get even more people in the area. So it was pretty interesting, just all the things that are out there. And I think with the increase in restaurants and things that we have, we'll start to draw more and more of those people over here after they've done some of those things. But you did a great job. Your sister did a great job. I guess one of my thoughts was for this weekend, I know normally there's cooling centers, but given the size turnout that I would anticipate for the concert, do we have enough bandwidth to handle maybe an increase in people that are overheated? And I don't know how you predict those things, but
Pretty much, JPAD carries that one for us for the most part. We can certainly touch base with them to find out or just to make sure they're fully prepared for the possibility of
larger
one,
than
a
normal
very large
crowd.
crowd and 90-degree temperatures. Although it looks like we may have a bit of a break in the weather Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll hope it holds for the weekend.
Yeah, that's only people that
Keeps their rig, cool the whole
Yeah.
time, and then we're in. Chief Brumbaugh spoken with another fire chief. They have a big cooling station that
Okay.
we're looking at bringing in, that we had there a couple years ago.
there's, just in what I've heard from people that wouldn't normally come down here to do something, found out who we have, and it's drawing big interest, to say the least, because it's local
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
Great.
That's it.
Yeah, Saline Valley has a federally funded cooling tent that we were talking about, and I talked to Chief Dunn up at Saline Valley, and they're more than willing to let us use it. So we're just trying to coordinate some security for it, because if it's left up, we just want to make sure it's not damaged. So we'll get that worked out, but we'll have something there.
Yeah, between the public and our own people, I don't want anybody, having
Yeah.
adverse effects if we can prevent it. So
No, he said that we have first shot at it. So
Wonderful.
we'll get it worked out.
awesome. Thank you. That's it.
All right, thank you. Councilman Tenen.
I have nothing, sir. It's all been talked about tonight. So pickleball courts look great, but that's all I got. Thanks.
Sidewalk going in
Yeah.
around the tennis courts.
I checked it out.
Okay, I just want to make sure that made the minutes and the record.
I found a hammer and I returned it to the owner. Yeah. I'll put my handprints in. Yep.
Yes, I think this weekend was good for the Juneteenth celebration. I attended the church service at 11 a.m. For that, and people will be glad to see me there. But you know, I have a lot of friends involved in that, and then it worked out real well. I believe they cleaned up pretty well, didn't they, Josh? Good, good. And as has already been said, you know, we have to be careful this weekend, all of us, because it's going to be hot. It's going to be a lot of people. And we'll get through it, I'm sure. I imagine that JPAD would probably have 2 or 3 ambulances there. But they keep an eye on, there's a lot of people that bring in a lot of their workers to take care of that. Yes, sir.
Mayor, I will volunteer to drive the Mustang so you can focus on talking to residents with the heat and stuff, so you don't accidentally have to park the car or something. So I always, well, I
I'm
can
gonna
drive them
be-
around. I always volunteer.
Yes. I appreciate your volunteering. However, I don't know that I'm gonna take you up on it again this year. Okay. Is there anything else anybody'd like to say? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.
2 minutes.